Okay. Okay then. So hi everyone, this is Babu, online trainer for front end and back end training. I mean for the Java related application. So here I am. When I take a Java application, so basically we'll be having two sides. One is client side, other one is server side. Okay. So when I say client side, so basically here we'll be discussing about what are the things which will be learning or which whatever are going to be executed in the browser. That means, see, when I take an application, it will be having two phases. One thing which will with which basically user is going to be interacting, and the other one which is going to be supporting your application. I mean the logics and all. Okay. So here we go for the server side. So server side would be with respect to some Java language or some other technologies. So when I say client side, basically the one which user is interacting with. Let me say this as user interface. Okay, that's what we say as UI. Okay, UI or front end technologies or client side. All this will be falling under the category of client side. Client side in the sense browser. Okay, so basically on the browser, what do we see and how what are the programming which we do in the browser, that is called as client side. So in these sessions we are going to be discussing about this front end side or client side or UI side. Okay, so here is this is the part with which basically we are going to be discussing in this course. Okay, so the title would be front end development or UI development. Okay, so what are we going to be learning? So do you guys have heard about this HTML any time? HTML, any one of you? Harish, Subbu, Bharat. So what is it for? So basically what is meant by HTML?
It's a markup language which helps you to design your front-end application.
Exactly. It's a markup language, yes. So why do we go for HTML?
Uh, because it can generate, kind of, it helps you in generating an online explorer and creating the front end more easier than any other, language.
Okay. So HTML in the sense, as you said, it is going to be hypertext markup language. So what is the use of HTML means? To develop the web pages, we go for this language. To develop web pages. What is meant by these web pages? Web pages in the sense, if you see whatever we are seeing in the browser, every page, whatever we are seeing in the browser is nothing but a web page. Okay, whatever we are seeing in the browser is called as a web page. This is a page, and as we are opening this in the browser, this is called as a web page. Again, this is a web page. Okay, so just to develop the web pages, we go for the high HTML language. So what if I want to create such page by my own? I would like to create a page in such a way that I want some table here, I want some image here, I want something. I would like to develop a web page by my own. Okay, that's where basically we go for HTML language. So HTML is a hypertext markup language through which user is going to be developing the web pages. User is going to be developing the web pages. Okay, web page in the sense the page which you are seeing in the browser. Okay, to write something in the browser, that's where we go for the HTML language. Okay, that's the basic stuff. So the next one is CSS. So what is meant by CSS? CSS in the sense to style the page. So let's quickly do a simple example of HTML and CSS. I will show you what is the difference between them. Okay. So this is the editor which I'm going to be using for my classes. That is basically Sublime Text, which is a free version. Okay. And easily installable. Let me open a new folder for our batch. UI training, UI technologies. Just let me create a new folder quickly saying as April 15th. 5 km IST. Let me just point that. Right. So this is the tool which I'm going to be using in our classes. That is Sublime Text, which is a free version. Okay, so to create a HTML, what do we do is, as I said you, HTML means hypertext markup language. Okay, so here we're going to be having some tags with respect to which we are going to be communicating to your browser to do some action in the browser. Okay, so what is the structure of HTML is, so HTML open tag and close it tag, which will be having two sections. One is a head section. So does anyone know about this structure? What is the use of head tag? What is the use of body tag? If anyone, it's not no to be the proper answer. Whatever just you can throw out. When I say HTML, this is how we used to create. So here I have written something like head section and body section. What is the use of that?
Yeah, body section is mainly used for creating images and major text paragraphs and other important documents related to the web pages.
How about head tag?
It is for giving the header kind of things, like the title kind of things.
Okay. So how about you, Bharat and Subbu? Any inputs? Whatever you know. When I say HTML, I'm writing head section and body section. What is it meant for? Usually. Okay. So to develop some web page, we go for creating a HTML. How do we create it? Saying as HTML open tag and close it tag. Insert the tags. So HTML tags are for creating HTML page, and a head section is for providing some additional information regarding our page, and body is meant for, so you are partly right, Harish. So it is you are saying for some text content or some image content, right? So you don't need to be particular about that. To write any type of content in our page, okay, in our browser, whatever the content which you want to write, all the content is going to be going over here. Okay, so whatever you want to write in the browser, basically all the data we are going to be writing inside our open body tag and closed body tag. So body tag is meant for whatever you want to write on the browser, and head section is meant for providing various other information regarding our HTML, where we are going to be seeing writing the styles for our HTML, writing the JavaScript, writing the jQuery code, all that piece of code we are going to be writing in the head section. So if you see here, first thing is we are saying HTML open tag and close it tag, inside which we are having two sections. One is head section, another one is body section. When I say body, this is very important. Basically here is where we are going to be writing whatever you want to display on the browser, and a head section is meant for providing various other information regarding our HTML. So how do I save this file? Every file needs some extension, right, to be saved. So what am I going to do is, so let me go back, UI Technologies, April 15th, 5 AM IST. Let me quickly create some folder saying as HTML or demo. Okay, let me say HTML demo.html. So if you see, let me say demo, the extension of the file should be .html. Okay, when I say the extension of the file as .html, this is the one which I can open in the browser. Let me save this, and when I open in the browser, you can see this is how it is getting displayed. So what I have done is, I have created a .html file with respect to which I can communicate to my browser. Okay, but if you see, as of now, as I have not written anything in the body, you can see in the browser you got a web page created, but that page is not having any other content. The reason behind it is, inside the body I have not written any code. So what we have done is, we have just taken a new file and we have followed the structure, and we are saving the file with respect to .html. So the classes would be from very scratch, so there is nothing you have to learn before. Okay, so if you don't understand anything, please let me know. There are no prerequisites. We are starting from very scratch. If you are having any confusion or if you are having any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so in the body section, I'm going to be writing, we are learning front-end technologies. Save. So whenever you do some change, you have to save this file. So to get the changes reflected in the browser, just refresh your page. You can see we've got some content displayed over there. See, as like how the web pages are there, in the similar way, I am able to create a new page in the browser, and I'm able to write something in the browser. HTML language is for writing some content in the browser. All this will be having different tags. With respect to these tags, I'm going to be communicating with browser. Hey browser, please apply these properties for this content. When I say H1, this is how it will be displayed. Okay, we are having number of tags with which basically we are going to be working with our HTML language. Okay, so CSS in the sense, so till now what we have seen is basic HTML part with respect to which we are creating a web page, and that page is going to be displayed in the browser. And when I say CSS, so over the head section, I'm going to be writing some styles saying as style open tag and close tag. So here we used to say in is it is H1 element, right? H1 of say color red and background color black. When I do so, if you come to the browser, once you make changes, you have to save this. Come to the browser, just let me refresh my page. You can see the changes are going to be reflected. If you see CSS in the sense, these are properties with respect to which you can style your pages with respect to different colors, background colors, and many number of things we are going to be doing over there. Okay, so if you see over here, I am saying H1 colon over, I'm providing few more styles saying as color white, background hyphen color green. It's not about only these two properties. We're going to be having number of properties. Just for the demo sake, I'm taking over here. If you see when I'm mouse hovering, I'm changing the colors. See, I'm doing different effects over here. So normally with respect to plain HTML language, you're going to be just developing your page. And with respect to CSS, this is the styles. Okay, don't worry about how am I applying all this stuff. We're going to be discussing clearly later when I'm discussing about CSS. I would like to just introduce you the terminologies. What are we going to learn? Why are we going to learn them? Okay, so HTML, so basically UI technologies is all about whatever you want to create as a front end for your application in the browser. So you are having some logic in the Java side. For that, you need to build some UI. So user can be interacting with respect to your browser to your Java programs. So first thing is I should be developing some front end side. To do that, I should be having some pages created in the browser. Those pages can be created using our .html. I mean the .html language. Through HTML language, we are going to be creating the web pages. We will create the web pages. And when I say CSS, what is meant by CSS means we can style our pages. When I say CSS, cascading style sheet. That's the abbreviation for that. So what is the use of CSS means? Through CSS properties, we can style our web page. The page which we have created just before using HTML language, we can style that using our CSS properties. Number of CSS properties with respect to which we're going to be styling our web page, so that he will be getting a better look and feel, and the user who is using our application, he will be feeling flexible to work with our application. Okay, so for every application, CSS is going to be playing very important role. Why? Because we are having number of applications. If you want user to explicitly work on your application, we should be providing better look and feel for the user. Through CSS, we are going to be doing that. And next one is JavaScript. So what is meant by this JavaScript? So from here, we are going to be starting programming at the client side. What is that? Programming language at client side. When I say HTML, I said it is a language to communicate to your browser to create some web page or to write some content in the web page. Okay. And when I say JavaScript, I'm saying some programming. So what is meant by this programming, and why do we need to do for the client side code? What is the reason of doing this client side programming is? I'll be just giving some example for you. Just to have a look over here. I'm having some login page. In that login page, I'm having few fields saying as username and password and some button. Okay, so carefully observe here. When I click on this button, so what could happen? What could happen? Just give your thoughts. Whatever you think. For every application, we do have the login page. We do have the username field and password fields. So when I click on that button, what happens? Submit button or register, login, whatever the name we can give for that. So basically, when you click on this button, what could happen? Just give me your thoughts. Everyone.
It goes to a new page. It redirects to a new page, like corresponding page.
Yeah, try to think more elaborately. What could happen internally? Yes, when I say an application, when I click on login page,
Internally, a link might be provided from one page to another. Like,
okay.
so such that it navigates from the current page to the next page.
Okay. Yeah, think more clearly. More clearly. You are almost there. Just what could happen? How about you, Vijay? Vijay, I see someone with name as just yes. Is that Subbu? Yeah. What could happen over here is, whenever you click on this button, first thing is there should be some validation occurred on your data. If it is valid data, you will be navigated to your page. If not, you'll be there over here only. And I'm going to be writing some dynamic message over here saying as credentials are wrong. Please try valid credentials. Something I'll be doing here. So what I will be doing is, so whenever you click on this button, at the server side, we are going to be having some Java programs. Okay. To those Java programs, I'm going to be submitting the data that user has entered in the browser for the username field and the password field. Okay, and what does these Java programs are going to be doing is, these Java programs are going to be taking the data for the username field and the password field, and using this data they will be communicating with respect to database. Have you heard about this term database? For every application we do have some database. Okay, so through interacting with respect to your database, your Java, from basically from the HTML we can't interact with database. Okay, that's where we are submitting this data to the database, and your Java program, and your Java program is going to be validating the data whatever it has received from the browser with respect to database, and as a result of that, if the credentials are right, you're going to be navigated to some new page. If not, you will be displaying over here only some error message. So this is what will be happen whenever you click on some submit button. Let me revise once again. When I click on submit button, what should happen is, the basic thing is I should be validating whether the credentials provided are right or wrong. Okay, so how can I validate is, I should be storing this data somewhere earlier so that whenever you want me to validate, I can validate that. So during registration process of a user, all the details I'm gonna be saving in the database. Okay, I'm gonna be saving in the database. Let me quickly make some names for them instead of showing that. Oh, here, if someone joins in the middle, they couldn't understand anything. This is the browser, okay, and this is the Java, and this is our database. Okay, so what is happening is, whenever you click on that button, the data whatever you have entered in the browser for this username field and the password field, that data I'm going to be submitting to a Java program, and in the Java program what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be passing that data to the database through some query, and I'm going to be checking whether the credentials provided are right or wrong. If it is right, I'm going to be providing the information to the browser. Hey browser, please navigate to our home page. If it is wrong, I'm going to be saying to the browser, hey browser, please stop over here only. I'm having some mistake. I want to write some dynamic error message saying as, please provide some valid credentials. Okay, this is what technically happens when I click on some submit button. Okay, if you look at the application as a user, then what happens is, when I click on this button, either I will be navigated to the next page or I will be getting some error message. But as a developer standpoint, okay, as we are programmers, as a developer standpoint, if you technically see over here, what happens is, when I click on this button from the browser, whatever the data user enters over here, we should be submitting to a Java program, and this Java program will be validating them against our database, and it is going to be saying back whether it is a valid credentials or invalid credentials. Okay, so did you get that? What happens here on a high level? what happens when I click on the submit button? Is it clear?
No. Babu,
Sorry?
I just have a doubt actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, you creating a Java program and setting validations for a web page, how it is different from writing a JavaScript? Like how good a JavaScript is useful.
Yes, yes, I haven't introduced anything regarding JavaScript as of now. Okay, I'm about to say, as at the moment, basically, I didn't introduce the term JavaScript. This is basically what happens in the at the background. That's what I'm saying here. Okay,
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
so just I will be introducing JavaScript in a moment. Just as of now, the flow which I said, is it clear or not? What
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
at the background?
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. What is the use of JavaScript over here? You are saying some Java program, you are saying some database, you are having some browser, you are having some web page. Yes, I'm done with that. Then what is the use of this JavaScript programming? What is the use in the sense? If at all user doesn't enter any data in the username and password field and he click on submit button, then what happens? If my browser blindly submit a request from the browser to a Java program, my Java program will be receiving empty data. Why? Because user has not given entered any data in these fields. Okay, so I will be receiving some empty data. With that empty data, I'll be cross-checking with the database and I will be coming back and saying to you it is invalid. So let me click on this button once again. Again empty data, and that means if at all user is playing with this button, always continuously clicking on that button. Continuously clicking on this button. In that case, what happens? What happens is every time all this process will be happening, but it is of invalid, that is with respect to no information. I mean empty fields, you are doing all these cycles. That means passing the information to the Java program, and your Java program is going to be passing that information to the database, and in the database you're going to be executing the query with the empty data only, and you're going to be getting invalid and passing the information to the browser. That means unnecessarily you're doing some action because of user mistake. User is just playing with this button without entering any data in these fields. So now what am I going to do is, at the client side, I mean in the browser side, I'm going to be introducing a new programming language, that is JavaScript. Using JavaScript, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in the sense? I'm going to be writing some programs through which I will be validating the username and password fields in the browser. That means I will be, before I submit a request, when user clicks on this button, whenever user clicks on this button, before blindly submitting a request from the browser to a Java program, what am I going to do is, through using this JavaScript, I will be validating whatever the data user has entered in this username field and the password field. If user enters some data, with respect to that data, I can post to the Java program. If at all user misses to write the username or password, here itself I will be stopping. I won't be raising a request to the Java program. Just try to get me clearly. The use of this JavaScript in the client side is to just work on your HTML. We're having some HTML page. I'm going to be interacting with your HTML through some programs, and I'm going to be validating in the browser itself whether is it valid information or not. I'm not expecting the username and password to be matched. I'm just expecting whether the user has entered some data in these two fields or not. If user enters some data in these two fields, then I will be allowing the browser to submit a request from your browser to the Java program. If user doesn't enter any data in these two fields, then as I said you, how the information, how this all the steps are going to be executed blindly, I don't want to do that. It's a time waste process. Submitting a request from a browser to a Java program with empty data, it doesn't make any sense. So what am I going to do is, through JavaScript programming, I'm going to be validating my HTML whether user has entered some information in this username field and password field or not. If user enters some information, that is when I will be allowing my browser to raise a request from my browser to a Java program, and the rest happens as usually. If at all, if user misses to enter any data in these two fields, then I'll be stopping here itself. I don't allow my browser to raise a request, and I will be writing some dynamic message over here saying as please enter some username is mandatory, password is mandatory, some information I'll be providing here. So when I say JavaScript, what is meant by JavaScript means it is some programming language with which you are gonna be making the static web pages to dynamic web pages. Okay, what is meant by that? Static web page in the sense every time when you visit that page you will be seeing only that content. If suppose for an application, let me take some about page. When I say about page, whenever you navigate to that about page in that application, you will be seeing the same content. Okay, static web pages. When I say dynamic web pages, what is meant by that means if suppose let me take some registration page. Okay, so we will be creating the accounts in Gmail, right? When you're creating a Gmail account, you'll be having something like password field. When I say password field, here, whenever user is entering some content over here, okay, I'm writing some content over here. Whenever I'm writing some content, immediately I'll be getting some dynamic error messages beside to this saying as password is weak, password is strong, password is moderate. That means based upon the user action on the page, your page is going to be responding you back dynamically with some different error messages. Okay, how is that happening is through JavaScript programming, I'm going to be validating your fields and I'm going to be providing some dynamic messages on your browser. As I'm saying you here itself, so if it is a log, if you say HTML, we can just develop the static web page. We can create an input field, we can create one more input field, we can create a button. When I click on this button, if I want to write some dynamic error messages on the browser, originally you will not be seeing any error message below to this button, to the submit button. When I first come to my page, I will not be seeing any error messages below to this button. But dynamically I should be writing some content in the browser. That can be happens through JavaScript. Okay. So did you guys get that? JavaScript, I'm not expecting in everything. I'm just expecting you guys to understand the basics. Why are you learning these things? That's what I'm just concentrating on. When I say JavaScript, it is some programming language with respect to which you're going to be making your static web pages to dynamic web pages. Static web pages in the sense, whatever you're seeing in the browser, they are going to be the same. I mean, n number of times you interact the page, it is going to be the same one. We can see only that those HTML elements. When I say dynamic web page, that means dynamically based upon the user action on the page, your page should be responding you back saying as some dynamic error messages or some dynamic actions happened over there. So here I'm hearing two terms. So when I'm saying HTML, I said you we're going to be developing some web pages. And now when I'm saying JavaScript, what am I doing is this is some programming language, okay, language with which we can make our static web pages to more dynamic web pages. So I'm hearing two terms over here. One is static web page, other one is dynamic web page. When I say static web page, what is meant by static web page means some example for this is home page. Okay, I mean let me say about page. This makes sense. Okay, about page in the sense every time we reach this page or whatever the action which we do on this page, the content in this page will remain same. Okay, will remain same. Every time you're going to be content in the page as like the same. Whatever you do have originally, you're going to be seeing the same content in the page. That is called as a static web page. When I say dynamic web page, what is meant by that means for every action we do on the page, our page would be responding back with some dynamic error messages. That is called as dynamic web page. Very best example is registration page, or we can see just login page, right? There also we are going to be getting some dynamic error messages below to the button. That is also happened through JavaScript programming only. Okay, login page or the registration page or different pages. Whenever user do some action on the page, if I want to dynamically write some messages, or if I want to do any action on my browser with some dynamic content, that's where we go for this JavaScript. So Harish, did you get that now? What is the use of JavaScript in the front end side? Harish, is it clear? Hello, you might be on mute. We can't hear you. Right, everyone, did you understand this JavaScript usage? What is this JavaScript? Why are we going for this JavaScript? Through HTML language, you're developing some pages. But to add more dynamic features for your HTML pages, we are going for this JavaScript programming language. Okay, to make your page to behave more dynamically, that's where we are going for this JavaScript programming language. Okay, we are not starting anything programmatically. I'm just expecting you guys to understand the basics. I mean, what are the things we are going to be learning and why are we learning? That's what I'm expecting in this demo class. So when I say JavaScript, it is some programming language with respect to which whatever the pages which are creating using HTML, we are going to be making that pages as more dynamic. Dynamic in the sense, initially I may not have any content over here in the page, but dynamically whenever I need, I will be writing different information on the browser. It's not about only one thing. I can write number of messages on the browser. I can do different actions on the browser. Okay, that's where basically we are going to be making our web page as more dynamic web page. That's where we go for this programming language. So JavaScript programming language will be having its goal to be interacting with your browser to make your pages more dynamic web pages. That's what I mean by JavaScript. So let's make the session as more interactive. Okay, just feel free. What are the doubts you are having? Just let me know. I can repeat for a number of times. Okay. So everyone, so just feel free to ask me the questions. The more you ask questions, the more you'll be learning in the class. Okay. So please feel free to ask me the questions, whatever it comes to your mind, even if it is some simple questions, anything. Okay. So the next one is jQuery. So what is meant by this jQuery? jQuery in the sense, it is a library which is introduced on top of JavaScript. That means JavaScript is a basic programming language with respect to which we are going to be doing some actions on the browser. Okay. When I say jQuery, which means that it is a library introduced by third party on top of JavaScript to make the JavaScript programming more easy. That means if I want to write some 10 lines of code in the JavaScript, I may be finishing that with 2 to 3 lines of code in jQuery. That's how they are going to be providing some shortcuts. All those shortcuts related information we are going to be having in this library file. Okay. So what does mean by that means? So we are having JavaScript with respect to which basically you are going to be writing some programs to make your page as a more dynamic web page. Okay. So if you're writing some program, there will be some common logics every time whenever you do. Okay. So I mean, just I'm introducing something over here. So don't worry about this syntax. If I want to get some element from my browser in JavaScript, I used to say document dot get element by ID. So what is meant by document? What is this may get? What is meant by this get element by ID? Yeah, we'll be discussing that later. I would like to just show you what is the difference between the JavaScript and jQuery. So in JavaScript programming, if I want to get some HTML element, I say this statement in this way. The same in jQuery, I'm going to be saying simply like this, hash ID1. That means the goal of jQuery is to minimize the developer's effort for more productivity. That means if he's writing some 10 lines of code to do some action, my jQuery is going to be helping me to finish that in 2 lines of code, so that I can write number of logics in my application. So the goal of jQuery is to minimize the developer's effect, so to increase the productivity. I mean, we can achieve more things with few lines of code. That's where we go for this jQuery. So that how that is happening is they are going to be providing me some library file. If I take that library file, in that library file I will be having already few logics implemented. So what am I going to do is I'm just about to call them. I'm about to call them, that's it. When I call them, I'll be getting the things happen. Okay, don't worry about that, we'll be discussing later. The basic thing is you should be good at these three things. If you're good at these three basics, then learning the rest will be very, very easy for you. Okay, jQuery is a library which is introduced on top of JavaScript. It is similar to JavaScript only, but we are going to be learning some shortcuts on top of this JavaScript to make the JavaScript piece of code to look more simple. Okay, and next one is Ajax. So what is meant by this Ajax? Ajax in the sense, as I said you, we are going to be making some communication between your browser and Java program, right? This communication, what I'm saying, this communication is going to be happened using Ajax. Okay, so there we'll be discussing about different modes of communication. What is meant by synchronous, what is meant by asynchronous, what is the difference between them, which one is better in which situations, all that stuff we'll be discussing. Basically, when I say Ajax, what is meant by that means using Ajax, we are going to be providing some communication in between your browser and your Java program. You are having some browser. In that browser, through HTML language, you have created some web page, and through JavaScript, you have done some validations. Now, finally, I would like to submit a request from my browser to a Java program, which I can do through Ajax. Ajax in the sense asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Using this, basically you're going to be providing some communication in between your browser and a Java program, which is very, very important. You have to do some communication. Why? Because everything you're not going to be storing in your browser. If suppose you are going to be logging to some shopping cart application, whenever you log into some shopping cart application, immediately you're going to be seeing all your products information in your site, in your browser. So from where are you getting all this information? Definitely my browser can't store any information, that's for sure. Then from where am I getting all the products related information in my browser? Whenever I log into my application, immediately I'm seeing that. What is happening is I will be giving a call to the, I will be giving a request to the Java program, and this Java program is going to be pulling up all the data from my database, and it is going to be submitting to the browser. So with that information, we are going to be showing all our products information in the browser. That means definitely there is a need of providing some communication in between your browser and Java program. So that communication we are going to be doing using this Ajax. Okay. So, and here comes the last one. So Ajax is for, come on, please try to repeat that, communication between browser and server. Okay, server in the sense Java programs. And here comes the last and very, very important trending framework in market. How is this course conducted in a physical location or online? It's through online programming. I mean, through online we are going to be having this course. Okay. So it is through online. Please have all your questions cleared. Okay. So you might think that through online I may not ask all the questions, or I may not be so flexible to have my doubts clear. It's not like that. Okay, I will be here for clearing all your doubts. Please ask me. Okay, and the next one is AngularJS. So have you heard about this? If at all, if some of your friends are looking, do you have a schedule set already? Yes, you will be getting all these details from Manoj. Okay, so I'm a trainer. I'll be providing some demo for you today. So just try to check how the class is going on. So are you getting the things or not? And for the rest of the details, yes, you can just, Manoj will be reaching you after the class and he will be providing all the information. Okay, yep, thank you. So if any of your friends are looking for job trials, so just have a word with them. What is meant by this AngularJS? Why am I saying that? Means whenever if you are looking for job portals, the basic requirement or the very, very important hard cake in front end side is AngularJS now. Okay, it's a framework, it's the latest framework. Okay, which is a hot cake in market currently. For the front end side, we are having a new framework introduced in market, that is AngularJS. So what does mean by AngularJS means? This is a framework which modularizes your code for more flexibility and reusability. Okay, so it's a complete framework in the front end side. When I say AngularJS, it's a complete framework in the front end side with which we can develop a large scale web applications in the front end side. If you're having an application with 1 or 2 pages, you can simply go with your JavaScript and jQuery. They can help you to do the programming at the client side. But when I say I'm going to be developing some application which will be having its uses in the real time, I mean, I may have number of screens in my application. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for AngularJS. It's a framework with which it is going to be helping to segregate your piece of code more clearly if it is when we go for large scale applications. Okay, so it is going to be providing support for modularizing. Modularizing in the sense you have to know many things over here regarding MVC. What is meant by model? What is meant by view? What is meant by controller? Number of things are there to learn over here. Okay, which we'll be discussing in the case of AngularJS. So it's a framework with respect to which we are going to be developing the single page web applications in a large scale. Okay, so that's what I mean by AngularJS framework, which is very, very important in the current market now. Okay, so these are the things which we'll be discussing as part of UI. When I say UI, so these are the things which I will be discussing in this course. Okay, the course duration would be around 2 months of course. Okay, and I'll be discussing around HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, and AngularJS. So Manoj will be forwarding you all the syllabus documents for them. So here we'll be learning about 6 courses. Okay, 6 courses. And once everything is completed, even I will be dealing about a project. Okay, so in this project I will be covering you in real time how do we do. So basically I'm an online trainer as well as I work as a a full stack developer. Full stack developer in the sense I do work on the front end side and I do work on the back end side as well. Okay, I mean the Java, Spring, Hibernate, all this stuff also I do work on that. So basically using that knowledge I will be sharing you how we are going to be using all these things in a project. When we do some project, that's when you'll be getting clear-cut idea. So where exactly all these things will be fitting in the application. Where do we use Ajax? How are we going to do Ajax? So how are we going to use the AngularJS application in a project? So how are we going to use the jQuery library, JavaScript, CSS, HTML? Okay, through covering all that stuff, we are going to be doing some project at the end. So the courses would be around 6 courses with a project. That's all complete as part of UI. Okay. So now I'm done. Do you have any questions? So as part of demo class, I just would like to take you through what are the things which you are learning in this course as a UI course, and why are we learning them? Okay, and what would be the scope of them in the market? Okay, and basically you can ensure that you can start your marketing as a UI developer in the front end side with AngularJS framework. If you start searching with respect to AngularJS framework in the market, definitely you'll be finding many job opportunities. So in current market, basically front end AngularJS and back end Spring framework. If you do and web services and a high level idea on SQL language. If you are having this stuff with you, definitely you're going to be hot cake in the market. Why? Because for an application, basically these are the backbones. Now in the front end side, AngularJS is ruling the market. In the back end side, Spring is the framework which is ruling the market, and web services in the sense through which basically you're going to be providing this communication. From the browser, you're going to be writing Ajax calls. In the similar way, at the back end, I'm going to be writing these services and SQL to interact with your database. So if you do so by your own, you can create an application from very scratch. I mean, creating a page in the browser to storing the data in the database. From end to end, you can do everything for an application. That's where I'm saying it is very important to have this stuff with you guys. So can you please make the classes very interactive? I don't want my classes to be happen like this. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Someone ping me over here. Hello. Yes, someone said hi over here. Can you please go ahead? Is it Manoj or? So everyone, I'm done for today. Do you have any questions? Yes, Subbu?
Yeah, hi. The class is very interesting. I just love it. Thank you so
Oh,
much for, yeah, yeah. For Manoj, can you please allot a seat for me? Last time I missed that, and this time I don't want to miss this class. So please, Manoj.
so how about the rest? Vijay, Santosh, Sakib, and I'm seeing someone with name as just yes. And Harish, Chaitanya. How is the class? Are you getting what am I going to say here?
Yeah, it's pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay, so the main intention behind this UI course is, so you don't have to be having any prerequisites. I'll be starting from very scratch. Okay, from very scratch, that is from starting from HTML. From there, we're going to be targeting till completion of doing a complete project in real time. Okay, that's our target. Starting from very scratch to till the end. Okay, believe me, the classes would be very, very clear. Why? Because we'll be starting from very scratch. So if you are known, then you might be feeling some bored in the starting days. Why? Because from HTML, from the basics I'll be covering. Definitely you're going to be refreshing your knowledge. You're going to be learning a many new things which we'll be using in real time. I'm a working employee. I'll be sharing the same with you guys over the course. Okay, whatever we do in real time, that's what we're going to be sharing with you. The only thing which you can expect from my classes is the real time experience. So hello Babu, I'm from mechanical background with no programming basics. Will you be teaching the basics of CS? Yes, that's what I'm about to say. So you don't need to have any basics. I even deal with the students who are from CS, what is that, civil background. Okay, I do have students who are from civil background, which is very, very far different from our courses. Okay, so what I mean to say is everything I'll be starting from scratch. Okay, you don't need to have any prerequisites. Just listen my classes for a few days, and then you'll be understanding how the class is going on. Okay, what would happen if we could not log in and record sessions available for later review or viewing? So this question might be to Manoj. If we could not log in or recording sessions available, oh yes, these would be available if I take. So for your question, just please post an email to Manoj. He should be replying back for you. Okay, they should be available. So what will be happening is if you miss some class, so usually what we used to do is every class whatever we take in the drive, Google Drive, I'll be creating some folder and I'll be sharing all the class videos and the examples. Okay, what are the things which are doing in the class? Everything I'm gonna be sharing the videos and the examples. So it's not only 1 or 2 days, you can have them for lifetime. So once we are done with your course, you can just have this material with you and you can just refresh your knowledge anytime. Okay, so these videos would be available for you. So the sessions would be recorded and these would be available for you. So using those videos you can just uh, continue the course. I mean, when you miss some class, unfortunately, again you can just revisit that once again. Or else if I'm having any other batches running on currently, I mean at the same time, if you miss some JavaScript classes, okay, and unfortunately due to some busy schedule you have missed a few classes. So what can I help for that is, if I will be having number of batches running parallelly. At the moment, basically I can schedule, I can convey to you that this batch is going on, so you can directly jump onto that class. I mean, once you pay the fee, so you can join for a number of batches. That's flexibility we are going to be providing. So once you pay fee for one batch, it's not that you are starting from one day and you're going to be completing it in some day. So if you miss classes anytime, you can just join some other batches and there you can listen the missed classes. Okay, we will be providing what are the credentials of Babu. Uh, I don't know what is the question. What are the credentials of Babu? Okay, let me not divert. So the thing is, we will be providing the option for listening more and more classes. Okay, the thing is, we want to ensure that you are not missing anything in the class. Okay, you should not be missing anything in the class due to some busy schedule. If at all, if you miss something in the class, we are going to be providing the option of joining some other classes. Okay, in some other batch, you can just join over there, and what are the missed classes you have missed, basically if you convey to us, we'll be providing those for you. Will you provide interview calls? Not exactly. So again, that's a question for Manoj regarding the interview calls. Okay, I will be providing everything related to technical stuff. So taking the proxy calls and all, you have to check with Manoj. When is the fresh batch going to start? Yes, this is the fresh batch for which I have taken the demo. So once the students are ready, we'll be starting a fresh batch. The time is from 5 to 6 a.m. IST. Okay, Babu uses something similar to Salesforce development. Not exactly. I'm not good at Salesforce. Let me be frank. I'm a Java developer. I'll be working on the back end side and the front end side. So my role is for doing the web applications. Okay, I'm not good at Salesforce. That's where I would not. I don't want to comment over there. I mean, I don't have the comparison between these two with me. Okay, the target of this UI is to do the front end development. Okay, also if one goes through these classes, what are the job prospects and do you have any industry connections? Again, that question is for Manoj. Okay, I'm an online trainer. So is Manoj available online? Oh, sorry. So can you please post these questions, whatever I'm saying, that's for Manoj. Just please try to post these questions for Manoj. He will be providing you the answers for that. Okay. My job is to ensure a student is getting everything related to the technical stuff. So when he got some job, when he is on seat, he should be in a position to, what is Manoj's contact info? Oh, come on. How come he's not in the class? Yeah, let me quickly do that. I'm seeing someone has learned techies. Yeah, let me quickly provide his contact information. Just you can just have a word with him. Okay, +1 804 928 6343. This is his contact number. So you can just post any, you can just reach him on that number. 4928 6343. Yeah. Yes. So any more questions? Do we need to know in-depth stuff related to core Java to become a full stack developer? Yes. When I say full stack developer, it's a different story. As of now, in the front end, you're just learning the client side. As a full stack developer, if you want to continue, at the back end, we are having number of things, saying as core Java, advanced Java, Spring, Hibernate, web services. Okay, as if you want to be a full stack developer, at the his email. Yeah, just now Manoj has arrived. So yeah, I'll be getting his email. So in the backend, yeah, Manoj, can you please drop your email in the chat box? Core Java.
Yeah, Babu.
They'll be coming back.
I will talk. Yeah, I will talk to them.
Okay. So core Java, advanced Java.
I will take this session. I will take the remaining session.
Okay, Hibernate and web services. Okay, web services and yeah, SQL again. So these are the things which you should be learning as at the backend side if you want to be a full stack developer. Just try to check with your friends who are looking for the jobs. When I say full stack developer, you are a hard kick in the market. Okay, if you know everything related to from the front end to the starting from front end till for the storing the data in the database. If you learn all these courses, definitely you're going to be having a better opportunities in the market. That's what I would like to take you through. Okay. Any more questions? Whatever you're having, just feel free to post me here related to the technical stuff.
Hello, Babu.
Okay. Yes.
I joined this class from middle. From middle to end, what I understood with this UI development is I have seen a couple of my friends working on Salesforce development. The stuff what you explain, they do the same like stuff, Ajax scripting and all that. So just wanted to know what's this difference between this the Salesforce and this front-end UI developer which you're going to teach, just for the clear idea.
Yes, Sakib, I got your question. The thing is, I'm not in that area. That's where I couldn't answer your question.
Babu,
So you're saying that we're going to be using all this stuff in the sales as well. So one thing I can help you is, Manoj will be sharing you the syllabus documents. Okay, you can just check with them. That should be providing the difference between whatever you learn in the Salesforce and whatever again the difference that it is making in the client side, in this UI development.
Okay.
If you look at the syllabus document, then you'll be getting some picture. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Akib. Actually, I have a small, knowledge about both of this. Actually, Salesforce is something you develop completely in cloud computing kind of, so you don't have a kind of database or everything stored in that. So everything you need to learn something different, but you do use some OOPS concepts and you use different tools and different, querying and as well as different programming in that. Apex is the programming that you use in a Salesforce, whereas complete
Mhm.
Java UI, that's something which is related to a full stack developer. So maybe Ajax, the front end UI would be very helpful for you, but programming, it's a bit completely different than what is being thought like. So what's related to full stack developer.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for that, Sakib. Uh, yeah, I'm getting you. The thing is, can you please check with the syllabus documents once?
Sure.
Okay. It will be providing some difference between what are we going to be learning in the JavaScript in the client-side technologies, and how is it will be differentiated with respect to your Salesforce.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Thanks, Babu.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I am Manoj Babu. I will take the
Yes,
remaining
Manoj.
session and I will talk to them and I will let
Yeah.
you know. Okay.
Okay,
I think
guys.
you.
Catch you tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow at 6 a.m. IST for the starting of our course. Okay. It's a fresh batch. We are not going to be nothing we have missed till now. This is a fresh batch. It's a just a demo class. Okay.
Yeah,
So thanks for
thank
your
you, Bob.
time. We'll be joining back tomorrow. Have all your questions if you're having any. I'll be just replying you back. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes, Manoj, you can continue.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello, guys. Hello.
Hi, hi, hi.
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 So, what are your doubts and what are your concerns? So, please let me know. I'll try my best.
Yeah, I just want to know when it's going to start and how much is the fees and basic course related
Okay.
information.
Actually, I think I have the course related information with me. Just let me check again so that I can present you. 1 second. Mm. So, are you guys able to see my screen? So, this is technologies and he's offering. This is from the AngularJS side. Babu is offering for you. So, this class going to be for a couple of months. I mean, exactly for 2 months. And he's starting, he will learn you from the basic scratch, and he will address you, like as at least, like as 2 years or 3 years experienced guy by the end of the by end of the month. And we do also have a consultancy tied up with us, so we'll try to market you. But again, I think only Harish is interactive in this class, and a lot of people, Chaitanya and other, Sakib is okay, and Vijay, you people should talk, and like you have to interact. We are paying very high to Babu Garu, so you have to ask him, and he's like charging for more. So the thing is, you have to ask questions, you have to pose questions for him, and you have to use them. Only Harish is uh, giving out his doubts, and nobody is like interactive. So I suggest you guys, please interact with him and learn as much as you can. That's what I suggest you guys. So come on, again, fees. A lot of people are very much interested in fees, learning of fees rather than learning in technology. Come on, go ahead and listen to the classes for a couple of days. Just try whether are you getting it or not. So some people, like last week, somebody joined in our Java technology, and from the next week they said, okay, we are not interested in Java, since AWS is pretty much easy. So some people shifted from Java to AWS, and some people shifted to Subbu, who is one tried for the last week batch, and then he got he got booked for this this week. So we don't allow more people into the class. Generally speaking, we allow just 8 members in a class, a maximum that 2, you know, and you people have to be more interactive, then only you can get the knowledge. So I will let you know the fees, okay? Please go ahead and listen to the class tomorrow and after tomorrow, and then share your opinions, share your, you know, give him any feedback whether he's good or not, you know, and then we'll discuss about the fees on Monday. That's what, okay? So whether, is that fine, or anybody are interested to know the fees again?
That's fine, Manoj. We'll know it on Monday probably.
No, yeah, we will talk about it Monday, because you know the class is important. Just listen to
I
it.
know.
Yeah, everything, you know. Of course, we will, you know, we'll decrease the fees if it is literally high. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay, Manoj. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
but just see the quality you're getting. That's all I will suggest you guys.
Hey Manoj.
Yeah, who is this?
Hey Manoj, it's Vijay here. Hi.
Okay,
Uh,
hi Vijay.
Actually, I just got this, like I joined in the middle, like one of my friends just forwarded it to me, and
Uh-huh.
so I really don't have much details about what was happening, so I didn't want to like ask any question and be interruption in between. So
That's
I
fine.
hear that there is a course tomorrow as well, so like can you like share me the details for that as well, so I can sign
Sorry,
up for.
I mean, whoever the guys, you know, like, please post your mail IDs so that I got 2 mail IDs, I guess 2 or 1. So whoever the guys who are interested, so if you guys send your mail IDs to, I posted a mail ID, right, learntechies@gmail.com. So whoever guys posted, just mail to that. I will send you the video recording of this one, of this class, and I'll also send you the invite for the next classes as well.